I'm straight, but I have fallen for my gay best friend. Plus update. Almost 2 years ago, I met my current roommate at the gym. We hit it off as friends and started hanging out outside the gym. We became very good friends and he told me he was gay. I supported him fully and this really strengthened our bond. At the beginning of this year, he was living alone and I was looking for a room, so I moved into his 2-bedroom apartment. I haven't lived with a roommate since college, so it was fun hanging out with someone. We both work from home now, so we'd be in our rooms all day working and then hang out in the evenings together. The first time I ever felt anything for him was when I bumped into him in our hallway. You know, you do that thing where you round a corner too fast and run into someone? I remember the moment exactly. We laughed and walked away, but when we were close to each other, I got that flip-flop, butterfly feeling in your stomach. I thought it was so weird. I thought about it for a second and then laughed it off, thinking I was so deprived of physical touch that it turned me gay. But then it happened again when he touched me to look at a tattoo I have. I knew then that something was up. That was a few months ago. It has taken me a long time to admit to myself that maybe I do have feelings for him. For a while I just ignored it or denied it, but lately, I just really want him. The other day I came up behind him sitting on the couch and put my hands on his shoulders to ask what he wanted to do that night, and he put his hands on my hands. I nearly died. I just wanted to reach down and hug him. Instead I pulled away. I said I'm straight, but I'm not an idiot, I know there's a spectrum. And if you asked drunk me a year ago, if I would ever kiss a guy on a dare? I would probably say I would. But if you asked sober me a year ago, if I would ever date a guy for real? I would say never. But now I'm not so sure. Lately the moments between us have been getting worse and worse. For a while I don't think he noticed because we've always been playful with each other, but now the tension is starting to become palpable. Sometimes if we get drunk at home there are moments where I just stare at his eyes for a second too long, you know. Last week I came into the kitchen after a shower. I have waist-length hair and it was wet. He looked at me and snorted. I kept asking him why he did that and he wouldn't say anything. Finally I got it out of him. Nothing, it's just your hair looks nice like that. Then he laughed and jokingly called me little metalhead. I turned so red that I had to leave the kitchen to go to my room. Literally Ginny Weasley in Chamber of Secrets style. I hurled myself onto my bed and let my soul go to heaven. I still think about him saying that every single day. I really want to tell him I have feelings for him. But what do I do? What do I say? If he rejects me, I don't think I will ever recover. We're spending Christmas together. We're getting our tree this weekend. I'm going to tell him then. Update: we went to buy our Christmas tree on Saturday. I'm glad that I told myself I would tell him how I feel because it gave me accountability. I couldn't back out and say, well, I'll just tell him tomorrow. Plus, decorating our tree made me feel so comfortable because I realized that my feelings are real and I'm not just imagining things. I want many future Christmas trees with him. I really thought that once I started talking, I would blurt everything out and not be able to stop, but really it just came down to 2 lines: I have feelings for you, but I need help figuring that out. He was really sweet, and kind and gentle. He just hugged me without saying anything. So of course I cried. We talked for hours and what he said came down to 3 things. He likes me too, but he said it's complicated. He said that as much of a crush as he may have on me, he would never let those feelings develop because I was straight, which I get it. He said he's had friends who are gay fall for straight guys and it never goes well. He also said he's glad I finally said something because I could have literally overtly flirted with him and he would have never said anything because apparently going up to a straight guy and saying, hey, are you hitting on me? Never ends well. Side note, I asked him if he ever knew, and he said I wondered. You're not exactly subtle, and you blush a lot. But he did say that now that he knows it's okay and acceptable, he's really excited to take things further and have those feelings develop instead of blocking them out. Then he said I don't need to figure anything out and that eventually I'll just know. I don't need to explain anything to anyone, including him and even myself. But he said the worst thing to do is to deny feelings. He said I can talk to him about anything at any time and that I wouldn't be burdening him. Then he asked if this meant I wanted to try being together, and when I said yes, he said we can take things as slowly as I wanted to. Then we kissed for the first time and it was the happiest I think I've ever been. It's really amazing what can happen if you just open yourself up to love. We have now officially celebrated our first Christmas together and I know I love this man.